It's Monday, March 30th, 2026. You're listening to the DX Today AI Daily Brief. Today, Eli Lilly signs a $2.75 billion deal to bring AI-developed drugs to market. Tesla and SpaceX unveil a $25 billion chip factory, and the protocol powering the agentic AI revolution just hit 97 million downloads. Let's get into it.
Eli Lilly has signed a deal worth up to $2.75 billion with Hong Kong-listed AI pharmaceutical company Insilico Medicine. Insilico will receive $115 million upfront, with the remainder tied to regulatory and commercial milestones. The partnership gives Lilly exclusive rights to market a GLP-1 medication for diabetes developed using generative AI. According to Insilico founder Alex Zhavoronkov, the company has developed at least 28 drugs using AI, with nearly half already in clinical trials. The two companies have been collaborating since 2023. Lilly is also working with a DeepMind subsidiary on AI-driven medicine. The deal signals that AI-discovered drugs are moving from theoretical promise to commercial reality in the pharmaceutical industry.
A chip factory of unprecedented scale. Tesla and SpaceX have unveiled TerraFab, a joint $25 billion chip fabrication facility planned for Austin, Texas. Elon Musk announced the project at the former Seaholm power plant, calling it the most epic chip-building exercise in history. The facility is a joint venture between Tesla, SpaceX, and xAI, the AI company SpaceX recently acquired. TerraFab is designed to produce between 100 and 200 billion custom AI and memory chips annually, powering Tesla's self-driving software, the Cybercab robotaxi, and the Optimus humanoid robot line. 80% of compute output will be directed towards space-based orbital AI satellites. The facility will consolidate every stage of semiconductor production under one roof, from chip design and lithography to advanced packaging and testing. The protocol behind the agent era. The Model Context Protocol, or MCP, has reached approximately 97 million monthly SDK downloads as of March 2026, confirming its position as the primary infrastructure standard for agentic AI applications. Originally open-sourced by Anthropic in November 2024, MCP was donated to the Linux Foundation in December 2025 and has since been adopted by OpenAI, Google DeepMind, and Microsoft. More than 10,000 active MCP servers now exist across public and enterprise deployments. The protocol standardizes how AI applications connect to external tools, databases, and APIs without requiring custom integrations for each model. Growth from roughly 100,000 downloads at launch to 97 million represents one of the fastest adoption curves for any developer infrastructure standard in recent memory. AI reimagines the automobile.
General Motors is embedding generative AI throughout its vehicle design process, compressing timelines that traditionally stretched 5 to 7 years. Through a partnership with AI startup Discom, GM can now transform hand-drawn sketches into full 360-degree models with animations in less than a day. Work that previously took multiple teams, multiple months. The company has also developed an AI-powered virtual wind tunnel that estimates aerodynamic drag in near real time, replacing a process that used to take 2 weeks per cycle. In one case, a machine learning optimization tool proposed a structural reinforcement design that resembled a human hip bone, demonstrating how AI can arrive at solutions that mirror biological efficiency. GM says human creativity still sets the vision, but AI helps see it sooner.
A robot walks the White House.
A humanoid robot shared the spotlight with First Lady Melania Trump at the White House last week as part of the Fostering the Future Together Global Coalition Summit. Figure 03, built by California-based Figure AI, walked a red carpet alongside the First Lady before addressing representatives from 45 nations and welcoming roundtable guests in their native languages. The summit focused on expanding global access to education and technology for children, with discussions covering AI in education, digital literacy, and online safety. It was the first time a U.S. First Lady hosted representatives from 45 countries at the White House in a single day. Figure 03 is designed for domestic tasks like laundry and dishwashing and was introduced last year by the robotics startup backed by prominent Silicon Valley investors.
Google takes on the music industry.
Google has released Lyria 3 Pro, an upgraded AI music generation model that can create full songs up to 3 minutes long, a significant leap from the 30-second limit of its predecessor. Users can now specify song structure elements like intros, verses, choruses, and bridges, with control over tempo, key, and beats per minute. The model is rolling out to paid Gemini subscribers, Google Vids, and the recently acquired Producer AI platform, as well as through Vertex AI and the Gemini API for enterprise developers. All generated tracks are watermarked with Synth ID to identify AI-created content. The launch arrives as the AI music flood accelerates. Current estimates suggest around 50,000 AI-generated tracks are uploaded to Spotify daily, and the platform deleted 75 million such tracks last year.
Vibe Design arrives from Google.
Google has launched a major update to Stitch, its AI native design tool that lets users create high-fidelity user interface designs from natural language prompts. The redesigned Infinite Canvas accepts images, text, or code as context and uses a design agent to track progress and iterate on ideas. Stitch can transform static designs into interactive prototypes instantly and generate logical next screens based on user clicks, mapping out complete app flows in seconds. Users can also give real-time voice commands for design critiques. The tool now exports designs directly to developer tools, bridging the gap between concept and code. The update positions Stitch as a direct competitor to Figma and signals Google's bet that the future of software design will be driven by conversation rather than manual pixel placement.
Self-driving cars hit the road. General Motors has begun supervised public road testing of its next-generation autonomous driving technology on limited access highways in California and Michigan. More than 200 vehicles with trained test drivers will operate in live traffic, marking GM's transition from data collection to active automated technology testing. The system draws on more than 1 million miles of real-world driving data collected across 34 states, combined with simulation that enables engineers to replicate roughly 100 years of human driving every single day. GM plans to introduce eyes-off driving, a system that does not depend on continuous driver vigilance, starting in 2028 with the Cadillac Escalade IQ. The capability will eventually be available across the lineup, from premium Cadillacs to mainstream Chevrolets, without rebuilding the system for each vehicle. The consulting industry faces a reckoning.
AI is reshaping the $400 billion management consulting industry, and the cuts are no longer theoretical. PwC has eliminated approximately 3,300 roles since late 2024, its first major reductions since the financial crisis. Deloitte UK has slashed over 1,200 advisory positions. KPMG cut 330 from audit. Even EY is cutting equity partners, not just associates. Recruiting data from Revelio Labs shows that hiring for specialist roles in AI, data, cybersecurity, and supply chain expertise has risen between 20 and 35%, and forecasts suggest those roles could grow as much as 60% over the next 5 years. The shift is structural. When AI platforms can produce a first draft strategy deck in minutes that once took a team of analysts a week, the traditional consulting leverage model no longer holds.
Europe's AI law approaches full force.
The European Union's AI Act is entering its final stretch before full application on August 2, 2026. The regulation, the first comprehensive AI law by a major global regulator, has already activated its provisions banning prohibited AI practices and requiring AI literacy, which took effect in February 2025. Rules for general-purpose AI models became applicable last August. By this coming August, the remainder of the Act takes effect, including requirements for high-risk AI systems and a mandate that every member state establish at least one regulatory sandbox. The timeline creates an urgent compliance window for companies operating in Europe. Rules for high-risk AI systems embedded in regulated products have an extended transition period until August 2027, but the broader framework is now months from becoming fully enforceable.
AI takes the stand in court.
A jury in a landmark social media addiction trial has found Meta and YouTube liable for creating products that led to harmful and addictive behavior in young users. The verdict, delivered last week, marks one of the first times a jury has held major technology platforms legally responsible for the design of their algorithms and recommendation systems. The case focused on how AI-driven content feeds were engineered to maximize engagement at the expense of user well-being, particularly among minors. Legal experts say the ruling could open the floodgates for similar litigation across the industry. The verdict arrives as First Lady Melania Trump's Children's Technology Summit and the White House's National AI Framework are both pushing for stronger safeguards around AI and young people.
And finally, the march that changed AI.
As March 2026 draws to a close, the month's scale of AI progress is difficult to overstate. 5 major model releases shipped in a 23-day window, including GPT 5.4, Gemini 3.1, and Grok 4.20. The Model Context Protocol crossed 97 million installs. NVIDIA's GTC conference confirmed that enterprise agentic AI has moved from pilot to production. OpenAI shut down Sora and began consolidating everything into a unified super app. Anthropic's leaked Mythos model crashed cybersecurity stocks, and the EU AI Act entered its final countdown. Analysts are calling it the most consequential month for artificial intelligence since the launch of ChatGPT in 2022. The question heading into April is not whether the pace will continue, but whether institutions can keep up.
That's your briefing for Monday, March 30th. For DX Today, stay curious.